I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast, and we are founding members of the OddPods Media network. A basketball Jones.
Monstars and genies.
Gin and juice.
All that and more.
You ready to take this boombox to outer space?
Spray it all over the place.
Super Media Bros.
So, like, if you want to slam and like, welcome to the jam.
Welcome to the ham if you're really hungry.
Or put some PB on that J.
Some peanut basketball and jam.
That's it. That'd be cool if, like, NBA came out with, like, a literal, like, strawberry jam, like NBA Jam 96, NBA Jam 97.
Why hasn't Warner Brothers actually done, like, a collection of Space Jams?
Because they're not us and they're not smart.
The many flavors of Space Jam.
Welcome to episode 184 of the Super Media Bros podcast. I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
Cult Cinema Showdown 79. It is Space Jam versus Kazaam. You know these movies, chances are, because I would like to think that most of our listener base grew up in the late 80s and the early 90s. So I think you know why you're here if you clicked on this. Let's jump into Space Jam, dude.
Here's your chance.
To dance and all that shit.
You know, this is a movie I mentioned before. This is a movie I have seen a cajillion times.
I think a lot of us have.
Because there's nothing about this film that I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, God, what was it, like 1996?
Yeah.
This movie's been around for fucking almost 25 years. Actually, it has been around for 25 years. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're old as fuck now.
So for those of you living under a goddamn rock, Space Jam is a 1996 American live-action animated sports comedy directed by Joe Pytka. I don't even care if that's how you say his name. It's Pytka, Pytka.
Star Michael Jordan.
And basically, this is a fictionalized account of whenever he retired the first time from the NBA between 93 and 95. Now, this also stars a shitload of people like Wayne Knight, Teresa Randall, fucking Danny
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, Danny DeVito, and a ton of the basketball stars of the time.
Yeah, you got Muggsy. What was his last name?
Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues. Yeah,
Charles Barkley.
Yep. Like,
Anyway, yeah, exactly. So
like this was the time frame where there were so many well-known actors, but also well-known athletes in that, you know, NBA and shit like that.
yeah, like if you were a basketball fan, like this was the time to be a basketball fan.
You were basketball Jonesing.
Yeah, dude, I knew people that didn't even give a fuck about basketball that still watched because these players were larger than life, like literally and figuratively.
I mean, you hear Michael Jordan, it's either McDonald's or Wheaties.
Or Coca-Cola.
Like-
Didn't he have a Coca-Cola deal at one point?
I want to say yes.
Because I think Shaq had a Pepsi deal at one point.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into all that shit later.
But anyway, so yeah.
1973, Michael Jordan, itty bitty, playing basketball in his backyard with a chain net basketball goal, which goddamn, I used to always want a chain net basketball goal because I love the sound that it made whenever the ball would slide through it. But anyway.
But he was believing he could fly.
He could.
Another highlight of this movie that we're probably going to touch on a lot is the soundtrack. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, so basically 20 years later, it picks up, like, there's a highlight reel of, you know, the Quad City DJs doing the iconic Space Jam theme. And basically Michael Jordan is announcing his retirement from basketball after his dad's death. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to go fucking play baseball, which he actually fucking did and didn't do so well at.
It was funny because the first game he actually played professionally, the catcher for the opposing team was telling him, don't swing. Like, he was basically giving him like ones to swing at. And Mike just looked and he's like, okay, why the hell are you trying to help me? He's like, I understand. It was nice talking to you.
Right.
Eventually, before all that happened, though, Wayne Knight's character became like his personal assistant.
Oh, Stan. He's a Stan for Michael.
Yeah, he is. Because, I mean, he pretty much acted like it. You know, he was all up in Michael's business, you know, saying like, I'm here to take care of you.
But I love Wayne Knight. Wayne Knight was, how do I put this? When I was that age, I went from Wayne Knight in Jurassic Park being the thieving, conniving, manipulative piece of shit that he was to this really lovable assistant. I was like, that's the guy that got eaten by the Dilophosaurus. He's back somehow, but whatever.
See, nobody cares.
Yeah, see, nobody cares. Exactly, dude. And then
Hey guys, Jordan's playing baseball. He's playing baseball. See, nobody cares. Go back to the court.
Go back to Chicago, bitch.
Yeah. Go bully everybody else.
That's it.
But no, he's basically having all this, help and care and love. But at the same time, like the media is like harping on him because he can't play baseball. And it's just like, it's to be expected. You play basketball for X amount of time and then you just go into another completely different sport that you had literally no training, no experience with. And yeah, you're going to literally strike out for a while.
Right.
But on the flip side, the Looney Tunes are interacting with each other, but eventually come to terms with the Moron Mountain people.
Yeah, the Nerdlucks.
And Danny DeVito's character, the boss. And
Swaghammer. What a name, dude.
Yeah. So this fucker is like, we need more attractions. We need more attention. I need more money, basically. And he hits the remote on his chair and it turns on the Looney Tunes and he's like, that's it. Go steal them.
Steal them because I need them for our park. So basically, they fucking show up at the center of the earth to kidnap Bugs Bunny and the other Looney Tunes. And the Looney Tunes being Looney Tunes, they're just like, you fucking, they didn't say it like this, but basically Bugs is like, you fucking puny little shit. I could step on you. We're going to challenge you to a game of fucking basketball. Like that's how you're going to, get us if we fucking lose. So the Nerdlucks pull a fast one and then they infiltrate all these NBA games and they get the talents. Like they use this fucking like space basketball to steal the talent, basically all of like the skills and everything of Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, and Muggsy Bogues. A pretty damn good at the time who's who of basketball players to put on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they do this, they transform into these giant, muscular, steroid-looking sons of bitches. And
let's not go that far because a few of them were. The others were, they're literally representations of the basketball players that they stole from. So like,
comparatively to the Looney Tunes.
Yeah. But like there were two of them. One was like tinier than the rest. And then the other one was like lanky and tall.
Yeah. That would be Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
And tall, lanky.
And then Muggsy was the small red one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
The Monstars, as Sylvester refers to them, they're screwed and they need fucking help.
Hit them high, hit them high.
Yo.
God, I fucking love that song.
I want to talk about the scene where Bill Murray, Larry Bird, and Jordan are playing golf.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're sitting there and they're talking about, like, Bill's talking about wanting to play basketball or whatever. I think if I remember right, he makes a reference like he's, I'm white, I can't play, or like white man can't jump or some shit like that. And then Michael's like, well, Larry's white. No, Larry is not white. Larry is clear. The way he fucking says that was so funny.
I always love Bill Murray's dry delivery of humor.
So fun fact for anybody that doesn't know this, I don't know if you know this or not, but do you know how Bill Murray gets his movie roles?
Mm-mm.
He doesn't have a manager. He has a phone and people call and they leave pitches for movies on his phone. And if he likes what he hears, he'll call you back. So I guess he liked whatever this was. And he called back and thankfully took the role because he was one of the funniest parts of this movie.
Yeah.
But at this point, like Michael Jordan gets a fucking hole in one because like Bugs rigs up the ball with a magnet and drags it into the hole.
Those Looney Tune antics.
Yeah. So Stan, the assistant, is just like, oh, come on, Michael, we got to get a picture of this. Put your hand in, act like you're picking up. He's like, shut the fuck up. I got this. Like the nice version of Michael Jordan telling him to shut the fuck up. But I love it because Bugs immediately just reaches with a lasso and then they jerk Michael through this hole and he just disappears. And then there's just this really fucking funny moment where Bill is leaning on his club and then he switches it to the other hand and just kind of stands there and he just looks over at Stan and he's like, what kind of camera is that? And he just like fucking grabs it.
And he starts like breaking it apart and shit.
But yeah, we basically get to the Looney Tune world, and this is essentially the Who Framed Roger Rabbit style of live action mapped over the cartoon, which at the time was praised at the time for the visual effects and everything.
It was still well done as far as like production wise because it made it believable that Michael Jordan was amongst all these cartoon characters and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so they explained to Michael, we made a bet with these aliens thinking that we can beat them playing basketball, but then they turn into these giant motherfuckers and they're going to torture us at their attraction. So Mike's like, but I don't play basketball. I play baseball. And yeah, they make fun of him again. Because that's literally like one of the tropes about this film. It's like, okay, Mike, just go back to basketball.
Can I point out something else about this? And I didn't think about it until just now. And actually, both of these movies do this. Both of these movies, I feel like they have kind of this weird like angle to them where let's get Michael Jordan in here and let's like, put his Jordans and his Nikes, on display. Let's make a ton of like McDonald's references and like anything else that he was sponsored by. And in the same, like over in the other movie, which we'll get to, they basically were trying to be like, oh, Shaquille O'Neal can rap.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
Right.
So basically, he sends Bugs and Daffy to his house to get his basketball gear, including his Charlotte basketball shorts that he wore underneath his Bulls jersey for every game because it was his college shit and it was like his lucky shorts. We don't have to go through like every one of them, but during this entire time, the 5 players that got robbed of their talents are actually going like psychiatric treatment.
I think the most memorable moment for me was there's actually 2.
I think they're the ones for me too.
One when Charles was trying to play with the kids down the street, and they literally looked at him and was like, "You're Charles Barkley. Can I play?" "Oh, fuck yeah, come over here."
Right?
And you hear Basketball Jones playing in the background, which yet again another fucking good song. And he's literally just a doofus. Like he can't pick up the ball, he can't hold the ball, he can't dribble, he can't do shit. And then one of them calls him out, "You ain't Charles Barkley.
You're just a man that looks like him."
Yeah. The other one was when the psychiatrist was talking to Patrick Ewing. And he mentioned the whole ordeal about like maybe it's something to do with like an issue with your mother or something like that. And he just turns around and goes, "No, just asking."
But I love my mama.
Yeah, with Muggsy. But I love my mama.
Right. And then the sequence where Charles is like at a church and he's like praying. He's just like, I'll never do this. I'll never do that. And then he just kind of sits there and he's like, "I'll never go out with Madonna again," which he actually did date Madonna, like for real in that time period. So that was pretty fucking funny. "I'll never go out with Madonna again."
Also, it was funny because while all this was happening and all the main stars were affected, every basketball game, all the basketball players just like, "I ain't getting dressed. There might be some kind of virus or something going around."
Oh yeah. And then the one guy that was giving the interview, he was like, felt like something crawled in my spine and sucked it out. It's like, it was bad, dude. But yeah, like all this time goes by and they can't restore any of their skills and shit. So eventually, like the actual ball game, after a bunch of training, which goddamn, quote, training at this gym, which they have Jordan kind of do this small montage of like, "Oh, can I still do this?" And it's set to "Fly Like an Eagle," which is a cover by Seal. A good cover.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, that's it. And then the Monstars kind of show up and embarrass the fuck out of them. But eventually they train and they get ready. And we get to this and I know you're going to agree with me on this very Madison Square Garden looking basketball arena.
Yeah. But that wasn't what I was just thinking of. Like, I know I'm going to get flack for this and I'm so not ashamed of this. But Lola Bunny, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Like,
brand new character at this point in time.
I know it's a sexualized version of Bugs Bunny, but still, it's like, I think every kid crushed over her like hardcore, and I'm still doing that.
I think that's where a lot of if you watch hentai, chances are your cartoon thing came from here.
Probably. Oh, this is where I got started. No. But yeah, like she proved her skills. Like she was literally the only character amongst all of them that actually had basketball skills. But yeah, we, fast forward time and the main event's happening. They introduce the Toon Squad. Everybody starts coming out. They do the introduction. You have like Sylvester, you have Taz, Daffy Duck, which is the fucking funniest one. And introducing Daffy Duck or whatever the hell he says. And it was just quiet.
I love it. He's just looking around like, the fuck?
Yeah. The duck.
It's duck season, god damn it.
Then we get the Monstars and fucking terrorizing everybody.
Dude, they wreck their asses the first half of this game.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked. They wreck the shit out of them for the first half of the game, which, as a child, you're just like, fuck, they're going to lose. They're going to actually fucking lose. I loved the amount of references to other things. There were a couple of points during the game, and I want to say this happens in the second half because When they go to, I'll get to it in a second. When they go to the locker room, I want to say it's Bugs that does this thing where he grabs this sports bottle and he just kind of magic markers Michael's secret drink or some shit.
Secret, yeah. And he was like, Michael, you're holding out on us. Like this juice here is like the key to our success. And everybody tripped out. It was just water.
That's called a placebo effect.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So when Michael caught on to what Bugs was doing, he's like, okay, well, now we're motivated to do this. Let's go out there and kick some Monstars.
And they do. I mean, like they kind of get their asses handed to them a little bit more, but they're more resilient this go around. One particular scene that even at that moment in time that I got, which is to prove how popular this movie was and still is, there's a point in time where one of the Monstars gets his fucking teeth shot out by Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam dressed in fucking like suits as Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Jules and Vincent Vega and the fucking Mizralu plays and everything. And you're just, oh my God. Good shit.
Also what's funny is just like when they were, joking on Tweety.
Oh, and he fucking like karate.
Fucking Bruce Lee's the shit out of him.
Yeah, he fucking does.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
Hey, you mean he Bruce Lee's them?
He Bruce Lee's them. He bruises them.
He bruises them up.
But it gets to a point where majority of the Toon Squad is incapacitated because they're slammed, like physically.
And welcomed to the jam.
Yeah. And they need a ninth player or fifth player? One of the two. Yeah,
they needed a fifth player on the court. Basically what happens is in basketball, you actually need a number of substitutes in addition to the players, but you have to have your 5 players on the court.
Right.
So who shows up but motherfucking Bill Murray? This is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fan-fucking-tastic. I think it's at this moment that the game actually turns around because turns out Bill Murray in the movie is actually good at basketball. So they catch up point-wise and they're down to a tie. And Bugs tells Jordan that basically like he's in their world. Like, think outside of the box.
Right.
So we have a buzzer beater moment where he basically Michael Jordan basically jumps over and on and over one of these Monstar dudes. And dude, he's doing his thing. Like he's doing to make a fucking half court dunk.
He's doing the Air Jordan.
Yeah. And they all grab onto him and they're just like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. So Jordan's just like, fuck you. My dick ain't the only thing that's this long. And he stretches his arm out all the way and makes a slam dunk. He technically just like slams the ball from like 10 feet up in the air through the net.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he would have felt like shit if he went to do that and his boonk, like it hits the rim and just goes flying.
And everybody just like jaw drops like, fuck.
God damn it, Michael. Like, and we forgot to mention that like during the halftime, I want to say during halftime, Michael Jordan actually upped the stakes and was like, fuck it. If y'all win, y'all can have me as a talent there too.
Right. But if they lose, that the Toon Squad and the rest of the Looney Tunes are free, but they have to give back talent to the original players. So Michael kind of is sitting on the half court celebrating with the Looney Tunes and Swaghammer is belittling the shit out of the Monstars. And then it's at that moment that the Monstars realize, Jordan like walks up and he's just like, why are you taking it from this guy? And they're just like, because he's bigger than we used to be. Mm-hmm.
So they strap his ass to a fucking rocket and launch his ass to the moon, Alice. And then they give their talent back. And then as the Nerdlucks, again, they ask if they can stay in Looney Tune land with Bugs and everybody else. And they prove that they're loony. And then Jordan goes back because he's got a baseball game in like 5 minutes. He gives the talent back. I want to say after he goes to the fucking, I think he makes his baseball game and then he goes and gives them their talent back, which is really funny because he's like, man, fuck these guys.
Hold on a second.
It's like, hold up. I got to try to steal third base.
Yeah.
Because if I don't steal third base, I ain't going to hit a home run with my wife tonight.
Nope.
I hit a home run in 3 years.
I mean, I stretched my arm that shrink my penis.
I had to use all my dick length to stretch my arm. Like he walks out the spaceship and he's just like dragging it behind him on the field. They're like, what the hell happened? He's like, that's my dick with fingers.
My dick with 5 fingers. 5 dicks on him. But yeah, everything basically returns to normal. Jordan goes and plays basketball again because he's out of retirement. Yeah, and we also like forgot at the end the all the players that he gave the power back to convince him to return to the NBA. While they showed off their skills.
That's right.
But yeah, like, hey, you want to play some 3-on-3?
It's like I'm gonna whoop all y'all asses. It's like 5-on-1.
That's pretty much Space Jam.
Attention listeners from across the galaxy!
You don't have to yell. We're right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Do we have a pube problem?
We'll have belly button hair. Will that help with this?
Cody, was that an alien?
It's a very tiny alien.
He's very...
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, wow.
You'll still answer my question.
Yeah, it will. It will.
Cool.
Are you ready for an out-of-world experience?
Wolf.
Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped.
Who is Manscaped?
It has not just taken off only in the United States, but Canada, the UK, Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore as well.
What about Planet Exxon?
What?
That's our planet. What about there?
Inside of the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your entire solar system.
Let's go test it out on the crop circles we were gonna make earlier.
I didn't think y'all still did that. Isn't that like old school?
I think it is old school. This 4th generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology.
Did you copy that, Houston?
Actually, yes, I did.
Good, because these spacesuits are a little tight around the crotch area over.
The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on and off switch that can engage a travel lock, and is even waterproof. So yes, your adventure to Mars will be covered.
Is that faster than their rocket ships?
You can make your rocket ship faster because the Lawnmower 4.0 has a 4000K LED spotlight that you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels in the universe.
Faster than the speed of light.
Check it out, little alien dude. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker, so you can also, do your crop circles. And it's like having a little astronaut around to chop up the worst weeds that are in your nose and in your ear.
Oh.
Guess what else, little alien dude?
What's that?
The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system.
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds awesome.
Well, what it means is that it provides proprietary skin-safe technology that will help prevent nicks and all those little delicate holes. Don't forget to use the Crop Preserver ball deodor and the Crop Reviver to help your little planets be on their A-game while feeling the sun's heat, because you're going to be a lot closer than we are here on planet Earth, dude.
This is true.
And just for you, little dude, and also everybody else that's listening out there, Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Get 20% off with free shipping using our code SUPER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com.
Let's get back to Exxon and tell the rest of the civilization what's going on.
You do that, little dude. Get yourself aerodynamic and ready for liftoff. Your Spaceballs will thank you.
What the hell are the Super Media Brothers? Oh, the lava.
Hey, I'm Pantsless Aaron.
This is Stevie.
And I'm Augie.
And we are Because Fuck You, That's Why, the podcast that's all about playing games and having fun. Our games are mostly based on British panel shows or British game shows, but we'll play just about anything that catches our attention and imagination. Our show is all about laughs, so please come by and have a great time. Why?
Because fuck you, that's why.
So let's move on to Kazaam. This is a 1996 American musical fantasy comedy film.
So to kind of, get to the point of the beginning, there's an abandoned building. It gets messed up. Actually, Kazaam is a genie who is stuck in a boombox, and he chose to stay in the boombox.
Well, he starts off in this lamp at first, which is what I was laughing at, because there's this wrecking ball that crashes through the building, and he's in this bottle, and he screams like a bitch when it falls off. It's so fucking funny. He's like, ah! And I do have to say this movie does have kind of some heart to it, because the plot is this child named Max is in the middle of his parents divorcing, and he's trying to struggle to adapt to the fact that his mom is going to be marrying this dude. And
Firefighter.
Yeah. Well, he gets bullied a lot, obviously.
See, that's the thing I noticed about this time era. It was like that was the theme of any kid in any film.
Getting bullied,
having the hardest time, can't get anywhere in their 10, 12, 13-year-old, 9-year-old life, whatever age group you want to call it. And they always find some supernatural, extraterrestrial entity that comes to their rescue to try and better their life. And this is no exception because he gets bullied and gets chased into the same abandoned building that Kazaam's boombox is in.
I have questions. I have 2 questions.
Go ahead and ask him.
Actually, more is a question, and then more is like another thing.
Mm.
Okay, so when he gets chased into this building, he falls through the floor.
Oh, yeah.
He falls 4 fucking stories. 4 through the floor. How is he not dead? How is he not cut the fuck up?
Because he lands on newspaper.
Doesn't matter.
I know, but that's the whole thing is like he went through all those flights of floors and then he lands on newspaper. He's fine.
He Mick Foley'd.
Yeah.
He ought to be dead. Somebody stop the damn movie. Comment/question number 2. So he accidentally kicks this boombox trying to hide. Which, by the way, one of the bullies is played by Efren Ramirez from Napoleon Dynamite.
Right.
When he kicks this boombox and Kazaam busts out of this boombox, how are all these kids not infested with asbestos poisoning?
Or any like
anything
contamination in general, like because that's pretty much like dust city, asbestos city, probably mold.
That shit is everywhere, dude. And then he just starts rapping. I don't fucking care, but it's funny because whenever Max tries to run away, he's like, "Don't turn your butt on me. I'm Kazaam." And he's like, "I'm really happy for you." And he fucking leaves.
But yeah, like to kind of go off of what you said about the second question is like when he comes out the boombox and he's spinning everything around, like, you know, you're just making shit worse for these 4 kids.
Right? And then, you know, he tries to tell Max who he is, and then he fucks up by trying to offer him a car, and well, he winds up making himself disappear.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, he winds up getting his ass beat by these bullies anyway, and he's calling for him. He's like, "Kazoo! Kazoo! Kazoo!" Bitch, you about to get your kazoo and ass whooped.
Yeah, but the kazoo kid. Wait a minute.
What's
your name?
Who are you?
What's your name? Like he's looking for Kazaam to come out. He's just like doing the whole like,
wait a minute.
Who
are you? I'm Kazoo, bitch.
If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, go look up Kazoo Kid. That is one of my favorite fucking memes.
It's the best.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like the next morning because like he tries to go home and like his mom then tried to talk to him and he's like, "Fuck this," you know, because he's already upset about the divorce. Well, he finds the divorce papers the next morning. And he sees his dad's name and address. Well, he goes to find him. And it's at this point that Kazaam is like a fucking stalker.
Yeah, that whole scene transition where he's walking down the street, the same street that Max is on. He tries so hard to like blend in. But I mean, it's literally like a 7-foot tall, 8-foot tall black man.
You can't miss this dude.
With freaking Arabian clothes. With a little bit of hip hop flair to it.
This man done powerbomb Cody Rhodes in an AEW ring. There is no fucking missing this dude. Young or old. I don't give a fuck who you are. Shaquille O'Neal couldn't hide behind a fucking palm tree.
You couldn't hide behind a building.
No, he couldn't because he was the Man of Steel at one point.
Yeah. But this man tries to hide behind a telephone pole.
He tries to hide behind a goddamn, like, it looks like a little, like, vacation pamphlet.
Yeah.
It doesn't even cover his head. That's how big his head is. It doesn't even cover his head.
And then the newspaper, he was just kind of like looking over it. Just, And Max is just like, the fuck, bro?
He's trying to sell him some gold bond.
Gold bond spray.
Hey.
Another fucking favorite meme of mine.
Same. Anyway, so Max finds his dad, who is a music talent agent, but not the kind you would think. His dad is actually a part of this really, I mean, let's just go ahead and be honest. Like, this movie portrays the music industry as very mafia driven.
Sleaze.
Yeah, so his dad specializes in bootlegging recordings and concerts and shit for this dude named Malik, who is also a bastard, but
very disgusting.
Yeah, but basically, like, Kazaam shows up with him. His dad doesn't know him at all, or at least pretends to not know him, but I don't think he really knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave because Max is feeling rejected. And this is where, like, through this whole time, Kazaam is trying to get him to give him his 3 wishes so he can just get the fuck back in the box or whatever. So it's at this point during his like little hideout area where he does this bicycle race, and we get to see the glorious CGI from 1996.
Yes,
this motherfucker is just like almost every other line out of Shaquille O'Neal's mouth is a rhyme in this movie, which I mentioned earlier. This fucking movie was designed to say that, hey, Shaquille O'Neal can rap and he's a musician and cool. I don't think this is the best.
He's got many facades.
I'd rather go listen to DJ Diesel. That's his DJ persona, which he actually fucking does EDM music, and he's good at it. So check that shit out instead.
Yeah, he loves the fucking EDM scene, man.
Yes, he does. Can't hide in there either.
I mean, even if you jump at like a rave or something, you still can't reach the height of him.
Right, dude? But why does he always rhyme? I swear to God, it's some shit like, goddamn, Kazaam, I'm in a jam with your poetry of slam. Can you please stop with your rhymes? It's quitting time. I mean, what the fuck is that shit?
Can you talk normal?
No, he can.
English motherfucker,
do you speak it?
No.
You're a dick! Well, Kazaam finally convinces Max to make his first wish, which is actually a bunch of junk food that just falls from the fucking sky. And then it's that point that I realized that is where the movie's budget went.
All the food.
The budget was $20 million, and I'm pretty positive that was $19.9 million worth of food. And then the other $100,000 was salary, so they had no budget.
Yeah.
I mean, not literally, but still. That's a shit ton of candy, and I cried whenever a lot of like the good food, like the burgers and the tortillas with the fucking Mexican. Oh my God, when I hit the ground, I cried. I shed a tear. I'm fat.
It's almost like watching the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and just watching all that fucking food just go to waste.
Yeah. Well, it's also here that we find out that Kazaam cannot do anything other than physical magic because he's merely a genie. He's not a djinn. So yeah, Kazaam winds up fucking with him. He puts like gum in his pocket, then he ties his fucking shoes together. And I'm sitting here like, man, even Kazaam bullies this little bastard. Like, he can't get away. Even the genie that is his, like, you know, wish granter is bullying him. I said, fuck you, kid.
Yeah.
You're a dick. So anyway, Max and Kazaam go out to see his dad again, which is somehow he knows exactly where to find him. Somehow knows where to fucking go.
It's like Dadar.
Pretty much. But when they roll in, what I think is funny is they're shooting a video for Debrat. And Shaquille O'Neal goes up to the turntables, and I'm just like, oh, DJ Shaq. And then this fucking mobster dude. And I just want to know something. If Shaquille O'Neal is standing in front of you, then you obviously have like nothing on him, weight or height wise. Are you really gonna sit there and like put a cigarette out in your fucking hand to threaten him?
As intimidation, yeah. I mean, this man's hand is bigger than your head. Let's just point that out.
Yeah, I'd have whooped his ass. But anyway, Max eventually tells his dad, hey, like, I'm your kid. And then his dad like has that realization, like, holy shit, it is my kid. And then he gets fucking excited. And at this point, you're just like, okay. He looks genuinely excited.
Right.
But then you see like where he's like, okay, can we get some pizza in here for the kid? How old are you, kid? He's like 12, 13. He's like, oh, get some fucking pizza in here and all this other shit. But then you can tell that he's really like at the same time overwhelmed. Well, when he goes home, he confronts his mom about why, you know, didn't she say anything about it and all this other shit. And then later on, they go to a concert that because apparently his dad got him VIP tickets to some fucking concert to see Spinderella. And Kazaam winds up rapping on stage just, you know, with his boombox. And I guess his boombox, you know, in the wrestling business, the term is getting over with the crowd. I guess the boombox got him over with the crowd that was there. This was the $1 million budgeted video they were shooting, by the way, that was going to be bootlegged.
Let's not forget the questionable action here is they led a 12-year-old, 10-year-old kid into a nightclub amongst a bunch of 18 and over people. I mean,
there's alcoholic beverages. There's probably the weed.
Am I the only one that's finding like an issue with like, why is this a thing? Like, if I would understand if like Max's dad was with him in like a higher up room or something, that's different. And then Kazaam would have been like, okay, I'm gonna go do my thing. I would understand that. But no, they literally said, here's some passes, go just fuck off. And
reminds me of Ninja Turtles when Tatsu looks at that one kid, he's like, go, play. But we get a few plot points here. Like, we're not just telling you this because it's boring. There's actually some plot development here. So Max goes to look for his dad, which he gets blocked by the same cigarette in the hand Italian mafia looking guy. He's like, you know, I'm looking for my dad. And the guy just shakes his head like, nope. No. So he gets rejected. And he winds up finding his dad roughing this guy up because the guy doesn't want to actually take part in the bootlegging of this concert. Well, he sees that Max sees what's going on, and then he flips his shit on Max. And he's like, you know, what the hell are you doing here? And he yells at him and he kicks him out the building. And Nick meets with Malik, who watches this footage, and he's just like, I want that guy, Kazaam. Because at one point, Kazaam turns into this like diamond looking thing, and he lands on the table that Malik is sitting at with Asia, who is this chick. And he tries to catch the jewel, and he figures out that was Kazaam.
Yeah, because he had this moment where he took his boombox and just sprayed the crowd with like pyrotechnics, and then it just shot out these jewels.
I'm surprised nobody had a Michael Jackson incident when that happened. Catch your fucking shit on fire.
Like a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah. And speaking of, at one point in this movie, Shaq is like clearly product placing a fucking Pepsi when he's drinking it, but that's neither here nor there.
It's pretty much like every 80s and 90s film product places stuff.
Especially if your lead actor has an endorsement from them or has appeared in commercials or whatever. But anyway, Max like leaves the building and he runs into the bullies that are outside, and they're just, no, there's no fucking way you were in there and all this other stuff. And, he's trying to impress even the bullies. He's still trying to be impressive to people. He's like, yeah, I could have whole reign over this place if I wanted to. In fact, I could go in there right now and get the damn tape that they're recording. It's $1 million budget video, blah, blah, blah. So he does. They follow the crew to this loading bay, and not Max, but the other bullies fucking assault this one dude and steal the tape. But there's a scene that I laughed at whenever Malik is with Asia and he sees Kazaam's dancing all this other shit, and he's looking at him. He's like, he's got a secret bigger than he is. Everyone has one. Bring me his. And I'm just sitting here like, what if the secret is his dick, though?
Yeah, what if he shot that jewel out of his
That's a kidney stone.
Yeah, that's a shiny ass kidney stone.
It's a Kazamni stone. It fucking hurts.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's probably why he was screaming the entire time with his boombox is going. I was like, ah!
Yeah, it's like, I am Kazaam. Ow!
Fuck, 3,000 years of this shit.
God, that's a long pass.
It's been building up.
Oh. But Kazaam winds up getting wooed by Asia, and then he gets into the limousine with her and Malik is eating goat eyes, which obviously Shaquille O'Neal, as Kazaam, has been alive for years and has had this as a delicacy. And so they fucking gobble this plate of eyeballs, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I mention earlier that Malik was disgusting. That's it brings me back to what was Temple of Doom. Yeah, that was gross.
And then we had the weird scenes at the house after this, because like Max wakes up and Max wakes up and Kazaam is in the bed with him.
Yeah, he's just like leaning over him like, hi.
And then after that, the infamous little shower thing where he's got like the shower curtain around his waist, and he's got like the
shower cap.
Yeah, he's got the shower cap on. He's got that big long squeegee, and he's like cleaning himself, and it's so stupid looking.
The fact that this man is so big, he needs a shower curtain to wrap around him.
Yes. Yes, that. Yo, I don't have a sponge that I can reach my back with. Somebody break that mop handle and put a fucking like big ass loofah on the end of it.
Get one of those like car wash sponges.
Oh, it does look like a car wash sponge. In fact, I'm pretty sure Shaquille O'Neal has probably had to shower in a car wash at least once in his life.
He's like, he goes to a car wash. He's like, I'm going to take that rotary one. For what? To take a bath.
Give me the deluxe. That'll be $15. I don't care. Give me 2 of them. I got $30.
You just see him in his like locker room, just
like that rainbow soap that comes out of the dispenser just fucking hits him, and that's how he's got that shine on his fucking head. Because what I laughed at too is like whenever he's doing the music video sequence, all the stage lighting, he's sweating like he's at the foul line, like instantly sweating.
That sweat nurtures your skin.
Nurture.
No,
I nurture my skin.
Go tell everyone.
Yeah.
Shh. No, go tell everyone.
Yeah. So Kazaam winds up posing as Max's tutor, and I'm just the flying CGI French toast. I really wish that whenever it went into his mouth, that his mouth would have went "Whoa," and just opened really big like the Gold Bond commercial to catch all this shit. But my God, the computer graphics were.
Yeah. But I just thought of like the gold powder spray screen. It's like boombox spray.
Yeah, dude, when he's at the fucking music video, he just boombox spray.
Yeah.
But he fucks up. Boombox spray. Oh my God. I killed him.
Everybody did.
But yeah, so that fucking French toast. Like, what the flying French toast bullshit was that?
He French toasted him.
He did. He gonna French toast his mom, too.
I mean, there was that angle.
Yeah, when the fucking toast is flying, you just see, like, his mom's Pixar-shaped ass. Like, his mom's Pixar
Miss
ass.
Incredible ass.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
She had incredible ass.
She did. But then, like, Kazaam later tells Max, he's like, well, I'm performing tonight. And then Max is just like, what are you going to rhyme about? And he's like, I have no rhymes. And I'm like, bitch, because you used every goddamn one of them up until this point.
Yeah, you went like 30 minutes into this movie rapping about everything.
And then we get a full-blown rap music video in the middle of this goddamn movie that is supposed to explain his origins, but it winds up being just so, yeah. But then is it where he explains where he can't do anything because he's not a djinn, so he doesn't have like complete freedom because he keeps getting asked like, why can't he do this, or be, think for himself or go do all this shit. Or hell, even like do these wishes because Max at one point just like, I wish my mom and dad would fall in love again. He's like, dude, I fucking can't do ethereal.
It's like every genie's bane is like their person asks, I want to fall in love with this person. No, I can't.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Yeah.
So let's get to the final act of this movie. So the plot is that at this point, the bullies tell Max that if his dad wants this tape back, that it's going to cost him like a shitload of money. But they're planning to split it with him. But basically, they threaten him into doing it. They're just like, you can't say no. Like, you have to do this shit. So Max goes to his dad's office, and then he sees Malik whooping his dad's ass all over the place because of the tape. And he's like, yeah, we were robbed by kids. I saw it on the security tape. So Max is like calling out for Kazaam, and he's actually on a date with Asia. And it's kind of funny because she gets up to go to the bathroom. And I guess like through power of magic, he summons Max somehow, or Max is like calling to him at such an alarming rate that it pulls him through the water.
A glass of water, yeah.
And it just explodes. And the shot of him getting like sprayed with the water is so funny looking. Like somebody takes like a spray bottle like that you would use at a hair salon and just missed him really good. Yeah, he's just like, oh. He's like, get off the table, kid.
You're wet.
Right. But anyway, he orders him to get the tape, which Kazaam tries to save his wish and like actually do him a favor. But Max isn't having it, and he like demands him, like he orders him. He's like, I want this fucking tape. So he gives him the tape. And then Malik is asking about Kazaam to Asia, which this is kind of an interesting fact, which she's like, well, he's an LSU graduate, which Shaquille O'Neal is actually a graduate of LSU. So yeah, Tigers alumni, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, he's about as interesting as his pituitary gland. All right.
Okay.
But she's basically trying to get him off of there because I think she knows what's going on. And she's like, don't expose this guy. Don't ruin him. Well, Max's dad shows up to his school to pick him up. And it has like this dramatic scene between him and his mom. And then he has another dramatic scene at that same point with his dad and all this other shit. Well, he winds up kicking him out of the car, but he gives his dad the tape before he leaves. And he just looks at his son. He's just like, and this is a very plot heavy sentence. It's like, you get no second chance at life. Don't end up like me. I'm a screw up, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, yeah, is yet another trope of the father figure in any of these movies, basically. Because I remember like Angels in the Outfield where the dad was just, he seemed like a piece of shit. Because the only way he would make his family like return for the kid was like if the Angels were independent. It's like, really, dude? That's how you're gonna act? And it just seems like a trope with a lot of those movies. It's like the dad's a piece of shit.
Right. But anyway, this is so fucking stupid because they get to the performance and Kazaam has changed his name to Class K with a K. What the fuck?
Yeah. Shaq.
Yeah, with a K.
Yeah, he's a shack, like an actual shack.
Pretend building.
Yep. Pretend.
Exactly. He's playing pretend.
Yeah.
So Max shows up to ask Kazaam to give his dad a second chance at life. And he's just like, I can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And so Max calls him out and he's just like, you don't want to go back in the box because you have all this shit now and it's getting to your head, and he's, tells Max off too. And he starts crying. And then like Asia tries to talk sense into Kazaam. And Kazaam is just like, I don't care. He was, have you seen this crowd? And
like it's basically the fame and the fortune like getting to his head and his ego because, he's a rapping genie. So like this is fucking ecstasy for him at this point.
Little does everybody know, the smash hit Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera was actually written by Kazaam, but he sold it to Christina Aguilera. He sold the publishing rights.
It'd be funny if like these are the lyrics of the song. She looks at it as like, okay, I'll use them, and just completely changes everything. It's like, this is garbage.
She literally just uses the chorus.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just
I'm a
like,
genie in a bottle. That's it.
Come on in, let me out. This is gross. I'm using it.
Yeah.
Actually, the original lyrics to Genie in a Bottle from Kazam was probably like, I'm a genie in a bottle. Let me out! With his little bitch scream.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Max winds up showing up. His dad is held up. Malik has the fucking boombox. And he threatens his dad's life, which they wind up. It's so stupid. Like this is something I thought was really dumb. He threatens him by saying, okay, you have to use your last wish to give me all the money in the world or your dad's gonna fucking die and all this other shit. And I'm like, bitch, you could literally wish for all the money in the world once Kazam is your genie. You're a fucking idiot.
But here's the thing, like, even if he has control of the boombox, there's still the like spiritual contract with the original owner first. Like, you get 3 wishes first, and then I'm done, and then the next person gets the 3 wishes. So he would still have to make the contract go out first before he can actually do a wish.
Yeah, which is why Malik shoves Max down a fucking elevator shaft and kills him. You heard that correctly. A dusty, crusty, musty old fucking dude shoves a 12-year-old child down an elevator shaft and kills him.
Because he's tired of waiting. I want my gold.
Well, Malik calls Kazam forcefully, and Kazam actually almost dissipates because he's being forced back into the boombox, but then he overcomes it and he beats the actual literal fuck out of every goddamn person in that room.
Yeah, he like manhandles and tosses these motherfuckers all around.
Right. He threw this guy into an electrical circuit area so much the building started catching fire, and then he raises Malik up by his throat, and he's just like, where's Max? Oh, he fell down the shaft. There was nothing I could do. And this is where I sent Cody this text message. It's a screenshot. And it's a screenshot of my television with Kazam's face looking like fucking we have Zeus at home. Zeus from No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan. Because he's just making this really pissed off face. It is the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's almost like you can just see Shaquille O'Neal. I am Zeus. Let me loose. He starts rapping. Like, he literally just starts like straining. He starts rapping while he's about to beat Hulk Hogan down. And Hulk's just like looking up at this man like 2 more feet higher.
I think I fucking sent you a fake rap that I came up with.
You might have. I don't remember.
Hold on.
All I remember is you sending me the gif of him powerbombing Cody Rhodes.
I said, Zeus, I'm the noose, kick you in the caboose. I got the juice, I ain't calling for no truce. Head right. Thicker than a moose, neck longer than a goose. I'm Zeus. Fucking wrong movie.
Oh, shit.
Oops. So stupid.
Yeah. Was it Cody Rhodes or Dusty Rhodes? I think
it was Cody. He powerbombed.
Okay. I was making sure I got my people right.
He powerbombed the shit out of his ass.
Right.
But anyway, so the place is burning down. Kazam turns Malik into a basketball and slam dunks him down a fucking laundry chute. Cries because Max was his only actual friend in the 3,000 or 5,000 years that he's been alive or around or whatever. I can't remember however long it's been. It's been a long fucking time. Somehow, Kazam winds up becoming a djinn in this moment because he actually wishes that he could have granted the wish of Max to give his father a second chance at life. So Kazam turns into this giant gold, dusty...
More asbestos.
Yeah, he turns into asbestos O'Neal. Because he's doing as best as he can. And it's implied that he magically picks Max up out of the building and puts him in a place where his stepdad, or his eventual stepdad, who is the firefighter, can carry Max out of the building. So he does, and he's reunited with him and his mom. And his dad actually comes out of the building and he's just like, your friend was here, and he mentioned something about a second chance. And he looks at Max and he's like, because the cops are calling for him, and they're just like, are you whatever his fucking name is? And they're just like,
the dude.
Are you the dude that did all the shit to the other dudes?
Mm-hmm.
We need you to come with us, Mr. Jude. I don't think that's his name, but still, I know his name's Nick.
Hey, dude.
His name is Nick. But anyway, he tells Max basically, he's like, I'd like to actually like really get to know you whenever I come back and all this other stuff. And they all agree to it. And as they're walking away, Max offhand, like he finally accepts his stepdad or whatever, and he's kind of offhandedly mentioned, he's like, oh, I sure wish I had a hot chocolate right now. Boom. There's
Starbucks in your face.
Starbucks right fucking there.
Yeah. He just happens to look down too, and he turns around and he sees fucking Kazam, or at this point Shaq.
Yeah.
Walking with, I forget who that girl's name is.
Asia.
Oh, it's Asia, right? Okay. I don't know why I forgot that. But anyway, yeah, he's literally walking away from Max and she's literally like giving him a hard time. And Kazaam just turns around and is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's giving him a hard time because he doesn't have a job. And I'm like, he's a fucking genie.
Yeah. The dude's in a wife beater and khakis.
They could have put him in something better to end this movie in. Because, I mean, fuck, even Genie and Aladdin had, like, some cool clothes on.
Yeah.
Y'all could, like, fuck, Shaq had better looking clothes on when he was still the genie. And now y'all are just going to give him nothing?
Mm-hmm.
He got nothing.
Regret.
He got nothing but regret. Look, I'm probably going to be the odd man out here. And this isn't even my pick to win. It's just the thing that I have to say. As corny as a lot of people perceive these movies to be, they're not, I don't think they're 100% corny. Yeah, there's 100% corniness on certain people. Kazaam tried to do what it could with what it was. It had heart to it. That's the only thing that I can say about it that's a good positive, is that it tried to have like some kind of like understory that was, you know, this child kind of going through a really shit time in his life. And, you know, the kid was pretty good at doing that, you know, playing the role, but it doesn't help the fact that, you know, Shaquille O'Neal can actually act, but the rapping and all the other stuff just did not help. Like, he's good. Like, Blue Chips is a great film. Like, if you want to see Shaquille O'Neal be a good actor, like Blue Chips with Nick Nolte's really good.
Mm.
This one didn't do him any favors. Michael Jordan is also kind of stiff as a board acting wise, but I mean, Space Jam, I don't even think Space Jam wins by a fucking landslide this week, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Michael Jordan doesn't really act either.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about both these films. Are they both perfect? No.
No, not at all.
Like you mentioned, Kazaam has a meaningful, heartfelt personality behind it. The issue I have with that is it's everywhere. That type of story, that type of character, that type of, you know, interaction with certain people is literally everywhere in this time frame. And there's only like a select few films that I actually enjoy that kind of bond with. After that, it's just like it's the same regurgitation at this point. There's only certain things I can pick apart outside of that make this movie more enjoyable. The fact that Kazaam, a great comical character to a degree, but I do agree he is a good actor outside of the corn factor with the freaking hip hop raps and everything else. Because that's the thing about Shaquille O'Neal. He has great emotions with his face. When he looks and he emotes, like even with the Gold Bond thing, like outside of that editing, he actually like has like personality to his face. You know, the whole thing with him doing the the hot ones. When he gets like that spicy taste, he has that whoo face.
He's like, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like Shaquille O'Neal has great acting skills and he has great emotion to his acting, his face and everything like that. So if I had to pick apart that film, those are my reasons. Now, as far as Space Jam goes, it's the opposite. Because one, it's a different storytelling of the Looney Tunes characters. Like they're being enslaved by another type of cartoon. And they challenge them to a game of chance, basically. I can beat you at this game. Well, they get the tide turned around and then they're fucked, basically. However, aside from the game itself, yes, Michael Jordan as an actor, no. Because it literally was just product placement, not so much of what he is attached to as far as products, but him himself, his name. And that is probably the most boring part of this fucking movie. It's just that's the aspect that I got from Space Jam. Because every time he would speak, it was just literally him as a person. It wasn't him trying to be emotional or be, you know, concerned. Like he showed concern, but it was very minimal.
Also, it's worthy to note. Did you ever see the Last Dance documentary on the Chicago Bulls?
I remember like bits and pieces of it.
Okay, so it's no secret that Michael Jordan is an asshole. Like, no bullshit.
No Chicago bullshit.
Yeah, no Chicago bullshit. Which, you know, to his fans, no, not necessarily. But as a teammate, as a fucking member of the Chicago Bulls, he was a fucking prick.
Well, yeah, because he was literally the star. He was the talent of the Chicago Bulls. He was controlling.
He expected everybody to be at his level or higher.
Yeah.
That not necessarily came out full force, but you could see, like, the way he talked, like the way his character would talk to Stan, he was like beneath him. I didn't really care for that too much. It talked like he was beneath him, and it's all this other shit.
Yeah.
But again, it's just cardboard.
Yeah.
It's very cookie cutter. It's very
paneled. It's flat. It's uninteresting. And like I said, they could have done more with Michael as far as a character than just put him in there as a namesake.
right.
Like all the other basketball players had personality. They could have used anybody else to make this character that's the icon of the Looney Tunes hope be more noticeable. Like I said, I don't mind Michael as a person outside of the NBA and everything else. He is talented. I'll give him that. But as far as this movie goes, I can't stand him because of that reason. I would really wish they would have put Shaquille O'Neal in Space Jam.
Oh, he would have absolutely ripped it.
Yeah. Like flat none.
But I get why they did it with Michael, because he was and still is to this day like the most popular NBA player of all time.
Right. And with Warner Brothers and how popular Looney Tunes is, it's like it's equal level.
That is
on
a
two
perfect
different-
match.
Yeah. So in my opinion, yes, Space Jam does win only because of everything outside of Michael Jordan.
Right.
Like Kazam, it's a good film, but like I said, it's just that cookie cutter story. It's regurgitation.
It's too generic.
Yeah, it's regurgitation. Like I prefer Mac and Me over this.
Shaq and Me.
Yeah.
They could have called this movie Shaq and Me and it would have been funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely better than God, what was the other film that was with Mac and Me?
Munchie.
Yeah, I could not fucking stand that
I
film.
still love that movie so much.
Like Mac and Me is by far like my favorite movie out of all that cookie cutter bullshit. But yeah.
Right on.
But yeah, like I said, Space Jam wins only because Looney Tunes.
All right. Well, next week is going to be a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about the Fear Street films that have been out on Netflix for a couple weeks now. A little bit about Space Jam: A New Legacy. That was something.
We'll just leave it at something.
Yeah. And we got some other music stuff to talk about. You know, the usual shit.
The catch-all. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, the catch-all.
The basketball catch-all. You catch this basketball full of shit.
Get your talent.
That's it.
Because we need it.
Yeah, we do. Hardcore. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to come back with Cult Cinema Showdown. We're going to be hanging out with the dudes at From the Middle. We guested on their podcast not very long ago, and a certain movie was brought up called Cobra vs. Ninja. So we decided to do Cobra vs. Ninja versus Ninja Strike Force. And we couldn't do it alone, so we brought the From the Middle guys along for the ride. And oh boy.
It's the podcast Strike Force.
You fucking right it is.
Yeah.
Well, if you would like to make a wish for more episodes, you can listen to us at supermediabrospodcast.com. All past, present, and future episodes are there.
How about you wish some of our merch on you?
That's right.
That's your second wish.
Yeah, go to the show notes below and click on our merch store. Buy a shirt, buy a hoodie, buy a tank top, buy some pants. We're not wearing pants either.
No. Also, the third wish, go follow us on all our socials.
Yeah. Fuck you thinking? There's 3 socials. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, and there's Instagram. So that's your 3 wishes right there.
Yeah. Or is it their wishes or our wishes for them?
I mean,
either way. It sounds like Timmy Turner. We wish you do these things.
we wish you would do these things.
But nah, y'all are loyal as fuck.
Yeah, the biggest wish of all is our YouTube channel. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. We just passed up 300 followers. That was kind of nice. And what the fuck is up with you guys loving the Hot Wax Zombies on Wheels versus Chopper Chicks and Zombie Town episodes so much? Holy shit, that motherfucker jumped up like 1,400 views in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, he showed me the comparison to like the top views or the top reviews or whatever. And it's like 1,600 or 1,700 versus the next top was 300.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like,
holy
what
shit.
the hell? Y'all like some freaky ass women, apparently.
That's right.
Like, cool cat? Nah. Hot women on motorcycles? Yeah.
Yes.
Anything's better than Derek Savage at this point.
How do you like your biker chicks? Yes.
Wax.
Wax. Anyway, I think we're going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much for listening. It's been awesome. We've had a good time. That was episode 184, Cult Cinema Showdown 79, Space Jam versus Kazam. Until next week, I've been That Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
Shades on.
Foot powder spray.